The Meta Workplace is having a dedicated notification center for managing all your notifications. You can see a bell icon in the top left side. Click on it. Now it's empty, which means I have read all my notifications. You can see the available notifications, which is not yet removed by yourself. When you click on any notification, it will take you to exactly the same location where you have been mentioned. You can have different options to mark it unread or remove this notification, turn off the notification from the same group, like we have it in Facebook. You can filter your notification based on read and unread. There are few more options to get the tags and replies from your site, the notification from your pinned group, and the priority notifications. There is an option for you to click and mark all your notifications as read. Whenever a new notification comes, you will get a red highlight with the number of notifications in the bell icon. To manage the administration in Meta Workplace, go to the Admins tab from the left side of your control panel. You can see the current administrators which you have already added. You can search for any people by name to add them to the admin panel. When you find one person, in this pop-up, you can see the current administrator roles which have been created for you. You can choose any of the roles to the new colleague and save. You can see Mr. Fahad is right now added as an admin called analyst. If you wanted to change that role, you can click on the change role option and change the role to a new role. You have the option to remove him from the admin panel as well. In the permissions, you can see for each roles how many permissions are available. It varies according to the system role which you are created in the roles section. Go to the role section and you can see the current roles which you have available in the Meta Workplace. If you wanted to have a new role which is not existing, you can make it. Now I'm adding a new role as an approver. Then from the right side, I can choose what all the permissions he is having. I can tick on the check boxes. A new role will be created. If I wanted to change any privileges, I can click on the edit option and do according to my requirements. In the pending invitations area, you can see the status of your invitations, which means people who have not accepted your invitations. You can have two tabs, awaiting invitations and unclaimed invitations. In the unclaimed invitations, you can see 3 people from the department have not accepted your invitation. You have the option to remind them. You can see the date created and the account status. We have already discussed the people session. So let's go to the groups area. In groups, you can see a default group, that is everyone at IACO. It will be created automatically for mass communications. The other 2 groups we have created for the demo purpose. You can create groups from here itself. You can have multiple groups created from this screen. You can have closed groups and open groups. Closed groups, as the name suggests, everybody cannot be added to that group unless it is added by the admin. You have the more detailed information about each groups here, how many members, how many admins, which date it was created, and what is the privacy setting for that group. Now let's go to the settings. Every part of this Meta Workplace can be configured using the settings option. Your company settings, profile fields and email domains can be configured. It's a deep admin level settings. Scrolling from top to bottom, you can see the company information, company logo, the workplace plan, the workplace related details. If you wanted to have any special rules on workplace, you can add it here by clicking on the add option. This setting is for joining an access request. For example, in the access request, you can choose an admin must approve all the access requests or an auto approval required. Similarly, different settings options available for joining to this workplace. A very granular, detailed kind of configuration facilities are available for the admin. When we go to the integration sessions, We can see what are the available integrations at this time. The new options are also listed, including Microsoft SharePoint, Teams, and all leading platforms. More than 52 other integrations are available. You can browse on it and choose what are the integrations you wanted. If you have any threats related to the security, you can find it in the security tab. If any members or guests are requesting an access, you can see it here. From the insights, you can get the statistics of how people are interacting with the IICO Pulse. How many people have invited, how many active users, how many people are active on a monthly basis. All these details are available in visual representation as well as numbers. Key updates. If you wanted to have any important updates in Meta Workplace, you can turn your post into a key update. Once it is marked as a key update, it will get notified to all the users. You can see the preview on the right side. We have already discussed the surveys option in polls, voting and surveys, so I'm skipping this session for this time being. A very useful facility available in Meta Workplace is called Draft for Others. For example, a manager can assign his secretary to draft for the manager, for which the manager has to approve the post once it is drafted by the secretary. Let's see how it works. First of all, we need to assign the privilege of having the draft for facility to the corresponding secretary. First of all, the admin or the content moderator should go to the drafts for section, and top right side you can see the grant permission. Here in this pop-up window you can see the drafter. The drafter means the person who will be writing or drafting the contents for his manager or any other person. Let me choose myself as the drafter. The final author means on behalf of someone, Muhammad Aslam is drafting. Let me choose one of my colleague, let's say Basha Sheikh. He will be the final author. So once I create a draft, it will be submitted to Mr. Basha for his final approval, because in the final submission or while doing the posting, the name of the author comes as Mr. Basha. But we have few settings here. Allow the drafter to edit the published post after the publishing. I can turn it on or turn it off. Allow the drafter to publish post, which means without the approval from the final author, the drafter can publish the post. So these options I can choose whether to go on or off. Once the grant permission is clicked, Muhammad Aslam will be having the drafting facility for Mr. Basha Sheikh. This will be getting as a notification for me. So under the draft for session, I can create a new draft on behalf of Mr. Basha Sheikh. If I have more than one author, the final author, their name will be listed here. So I choose here Mr. Basha, and I can choose in which group I have to post. I'll choose any of the group and I can write the contents. So there are more options here. Once it is having the privilege, then I can do this. After that, I can have the option like publish as Basha Sheikh or submit for approval to Basha Sheikh. So this will go to the approval for Basha Sheikh. In his dashboard, he can see this notification. He can do the final edits and he can approve it. Then it will be published to the group as a post. Finally, we have a contact support session provided by Meta itself. So it has a frequently asked question session. In that, the generally asked questions from different users are categorized based on different criteria. You can click on it and you can find the answers for your general questions. In case if you have specific questions, you can have a chatbot support. Click on chat with us and you can ask the questions. Their system will be receiving your queries. You will get auto-generated replies, but if you wanted to talk to an agent or get official support from them, you can request for that and they will contact you within 24 hours.